Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
My name is Ola from Data Global Hub.
I'm Ayokunle Omoniyi, founder Melon.
Thank you very much for honoring us here. Please, can you tell us what Melon is all about?
All right. So Melon is a data tech management company based in Lagos, Nigeria. So we currently have two products basically helping to bridge the gap between the life cycle of data. So from data collation to analysis to dissemination, basically. So we have two products, like I said, a web app and a mobile app, basically. So for all our agents, we have agents across the country that help organizations to collect data real time on the field, geotag locations, images, collect videos, documents, reporting, basically on the field. And the other side of our product is a web app whereby organizations can actually make sense of the data. So you visualize the data, you do analysis on that web app, and you actually make sense of the data, and you create reports and make presentations, basically. So it's like a combination of two things. I mean, we also do other solutions for other organizations, but more or less we try to just bridge that gap between data collection. And it was something I started 2 years ago when I actually went on the field and noticed that gap with regards to data collection, especially in remote areas, basically.
Thank you very much. That's informative and that is insightful. You're basically in Lagos. You collect informations for companies and organizations in all over Nigeria. Has there been a challenge? Because, for example, can be remotely possible to do all of those things. But what about the rural areas where there are many things that affects the collation of data? How do you go about that?
Yes. So I mean, just like my session where I was speaking, I went to a very remote area in Plateau State. Very remote. They've never been connected to the grid, but they had a mini grid installed. And what I saw a young man there with a lot of potentials. He was learned. He could speak the local language, and he had a smartphone. So I mean, I was like, okay, why not actually ensure that we have people in different localities that live in those localities that know how to communicate with the people there, collect this data. I mean, what we did with our mobile app is that we ensured that you can actually collect data without internet. So you can collect it and sync it when you connect to the internet, basically to allow you to be able to actually move to very, very remote areas, because we know that internet connectivity is not really as expansive in those kind of very remote areas, although there are some places you go to and you see internet and you'll be surprised. So we just made sure that we had that provision on our mobile app to ensure that you can collect data real time on the field without internet access.
Thank you very much. That's a good one because employing people from the rural areas did not only just help you, it helps them with their job opportunities, employment, which is a good one for the nation. So thank you for that. And lastly, please, you said something about helping them collecting data, which is the main function of Melon. How do you ensure data privacy? Because currently it is very, very fundamental.
So, to be honest with you, most of the data we collect, be it make market data or even probably primary data that is being used for an organization, where we start from is more or less gender. We start, I mean, that already takes us out of the social demographic characteristics that is speaking to their privacy, probably like their name or we don't collect names, we don't collect phone numbers, we don't collect email addresses. We start from their gender, basically, because it's very important to know the gender. Then we now start going to their age, basically. So probably want to collect market data for a bank, for example. They want to know the kind of social media apps that people use in a particular location so that they can know how to target their ads for that particular location. We don't need to collect their names. So we do that to avoid a lot of data privacy issue. Although one of our team members is actually a very, very seasoned lawyer. We have data governance people on our team that actually ensure that we are in line with the NDPA, basically. I mean, we were speaking about it today with regards to the fact that once you process a particular amount of data, you're already a data controller. So we are ensuring that with the data we collect for each organization, we make sure that those data that we collect is specifically transferred securely with our processes to those organizations. We also have our agreements, we have our data protection policies. I mean, once you go to melon.ng, you'll see all our policies that has to do with our privacy policies, that has to do regarding with data protection. So I myself, I'm a data person, so I know how important it is to ensure that you are very, very well aligned when it comes to data protection policy.
Thank you very much. That was insightful. Most of the data you're collecting, how they are being used. Is this something you they are told about, or is this something you just collect them without them knowing?
Okay, so I mean, with regards, there are two parts of this. As an organization, companies come to us, be it FMCGs, be it financial institutions, different companies come to us that they need information, they need data on different locations, geopolitical zones that they need to make sense. They come to us. I mean, we create the survey. We know the variables that we want to collect. We know what our objectives are. So we deploy the surveys to our mobile app. They get the alerts in the different states that they are in, and they go on the field. They speak to people. They collect their consent. First thing first, they collect their consent, speak to them that they want to collect so and so information for so and so organization. Do they accept to continue with that survey? Once they say yes, so they start discussing with them and they move to next person, different people and all that. But on the side, as an organization, we, for example, like I mentioned in my session today, we are collecting different data on different key sectors, healthcare, renewable energy, agriculture. We're collecting those data sets and we're gathering them. In the future, next 5-6 years, depending on the momentum of AI solutions in Africa, organizations will come to us to ask for data. Those data sets, they need to make sense of them, to model them, to actually like skill to make solutions that are actually very, very well imbibed with the local context in Africa. So we on our own, we're collecting that data. I mean, that requires a lot of funding. I mean, but we're doing everything we can in our parts to just ensure that we collect those data sets in different key sectors. And I mean, in 5 years, 6 years, you'll see that Melon will be that company that you come to. Probably will even be an AI company by then. So we'll be ensuring that we partner with data engineers. We have a very good, if there are 10 good data engineers in Lagos, 3 of them work with us. I'm very sure of that. So yeah, in the future, you would see why we are doing what we're doing, basically.
Thank you very much for your time.